So you see, again, it's weird. Like I said, it's a little bit more complex. I want to indicate that having both X and Y together in is what is sufficient to activate the rule, sufficient to guarantee the not Z. So I do this plus sign. I also do a kind of a bracket, then the arrow pointing to not Z. That's what it looks like, at least in my style, when you have the word and in the sufficient condition. It's my personal diagramming preference. It's how I would go about it. You can feel free to make your own way regarding it, but it's not easy to make a clean illustration of this like we had with the previous example. Now, when we have contrapositive, then I'll address your question. In the contrapositive version, I do a dotted arrow to indicate or in the necessary condition. If I put solid arrows, it would be indicating or suggesting that Z requires both not X and not Y, when in reality, I simply want to reflect that Z in requires at least one of them out, not necessarily to have both of them out. So dotted arrows for or in the necessary condition, and as well as the bracket to indicate and in the sufficient condition. Could you do just a bracket, this little series of 2 lines here connected, and not use the plus sign? Maybe you could, but that might be confusing and tough to remember that it's actually an and there. Could you do just a plus sign? Yeah, maybe you could. But for me, I find it useful to really use both of those just to anchor it for myself that there's something big going on here. It's the 2 of those together are what form the sufficient condition. Then it looks like I might have addressed your question already, but I'll just make sure I'm comprehensive on it. Would using this contrapositive help you solve a must be true? I mean, it could help you solve anything in the game. I wouldn't say it's in particular for must be trues. It's really just about conditionals and conditional rules and chains in general. They're useful for the entire game. So it could be useful for it could be true, could be useful for must be true, could be useful for it cannot be true. It could be useful for anything within the game. But it is important to illustrate this in some way. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.